a CNN exclusive. As Sarah Palin campaigns for one of the most powerful jobs in America, she is also under investigation for possible abuse of powers as governor of Alaska. At the center of an official probe into Palin's behavior, an Alaska state trooper who is also her former brother-in-law. The question, did Palin try to get him fired? Drew Griffin of CNN's Special Investigations Unit is in Anchorage, Alaska, looking into this controversy. Drew, you sat down with Trooper Mike Wooten. Tell us what you're learning.
Campbell, what we're learning is this was a very bitter, ugly family divorce blown into a statewide scandal here and now blowing up in the media feeding frenzy of presidential politics. Trooper Mike Wooten says he has been offered $30,000 from a tabloid to tell this story. The Obama campaign has contacted his union. He has chosen instead to grant one interview only to CNN. He says to set the record straight about his record. The real story is not a good one for the trooper at the center of it.
It's definitely not very easy. It creates a lot of stress, that's for sure.
Mike Wooten was married to Sarah Palin's sister, Molly, for 4 years. Their marriage ended bitterly in 2005. There has been constant battling over custody of their 2 children. And it is in the acrimonious divorce proceedings that private details of Trooper Mike Wooten's life have become public and are now part of a state investigation.
Was there ever a good time with you and I mean, at one point you were a member of that family.
You're absolutely right. I was a member of that family, and I have some very cherished memories of those times. There was a lot of good times. I don't wish any ill will on any of them. I absolutely don't.
The headlines about you: tasered a stepson when you were a taser officer, shot a moose illegally when you were a wildlife officer, 2 separate incidents where somebody saw you drinking in a car, driving. True?
Well, let me take those on one at a time and explain those to you.
So he did. Yes, he admits he did taser his stepson.
He was asking about it, and you know, it wasn't. I didn't shoot him with a taser with a live, you know, actual live cartridge and shoot him with the probes and, you know, that kind of situation that some people have made this out to be. That's not the case at all. It was a training aid that he was hooked up to, just little clips, and the taser was activated for less than a second, which would be less than what you would get if you touched an electric fence, you know, it was as safe as I could possibly make it.
Looking back, was it dumb?
Yes, it was, absolutely. And, you know, like I stated before, not perfect. I've made mistakes, and I've learned from those mistakes, and not the best decision I've ever made, absolutely not.
He admits he killed a moose illegally, a significant infraction in Alaska. But even though Wooten was a state trooper at the time, he says he didn't know his actions were illegal.
Drinking in cars?
No.
Didn't happen?
Didn't happen.
Those witnesses lying?
I don't know why they would say that. It didn't happen.
In 2006, a trooper investigation upheld several of the allegations against Wooten, including the taser incident, the shooting of the moose, and the use of alcohol while driving a patrol vehicle. Nearly 2 years before she became governor, Sarah Palin told police that she had listened on a phone as Trooper Wooten raged at her sister and threatened to kill her father.
Did you threaten to kill your father-in-law?
No, I did not.
You didn't say you were going to put a effing bullet in his head?
No, I did not.
So those people that say they heard that are lying?
I didn't threaten him, and I've never threatened anyone, for that matter.
Wooten would not discuss the Palin family or speak directly about them. His marriage to Molly McCann was his 3rd. Since then, the 36-year-old trooper has married and divorced yet again.
I'm going to ask you personal questions. Have you had trouble with women in your life? Handling relationships, has that been a problem?
There's been issues, yeah.
The issues, including a long list of reprimands as a state trooper, eventually landed Trooper Mike Wooten on suspension for 5 days. He was not fired. His boss, though, was. And that is where the legal trouble begins for Alaska's governor, Sarah Palin. The allegation is that when Palin became governor, she used her power to try to get her ex-brother-in-law fired. Why? Records show the governor believed he was a dangerous state trooper, but others have alleged she just wanted to settle a family score. Her representatives have maintained, as has she, that she did not do anything illegal, and since becoming governor, did not try to use her position to get Trooper Wooten fired. What was an ugly family divorce exploded in the public arena when the state's Public Safety Commissioner, Walt Monaghan, was fired by Governor Palin. Palin, in comments, has maintained that Monaghan was fired because he was not moving fast enough on the initiatives she wanted for the department. Monaghan says otherwise.
I believe I was fired because I did not fire Mike Wooten.
And yet he also says he was never told to fire Wooten.
She had nothing to do with the pressure to fire Monaghan over Wooten. That is absolutely ridiculous and absurd.
But records reveal that staff in her administration, as well as her husband, contacted the Public Safety Commission about Mike Wooten some 20 times since Palin became governor.
In my heart of hearts, the governor, I think, did allow her personal feelings to get involved in her professional responsibilities. And she ventured where she should not have ventured into a personnel matter that involved an immediate family member of hers.
The state investigation launched before Sarah Palin joined the national stage with John McCain is due to be over with, Campbell, just weeks before the November election.
And is that definitive, Drew, or could that change? Is there a way for her to delay that? I'm sure the campaign would like to until after the election.
Because it started in the legislature, I don't think she can stop that actual investigation. The governor has been making attempts to try to move this whole matter over to the personnel board of this state. That's getting some resistance. And in the meantime, the person that's heading the investigation by the legislature, Hollis French, says he actually wants to move the date up to October 10th when that report is out, so it won't interfere directly with the national campaign.
All right, Drew Griffin for us. Wow, Drew, a really interesting conversation there. Thanks very much. Political conventions, the ultimate exercise in campaign